Welcome to a brand new episode of The Drop, the weekly show that lets you know the hottest games coming out across the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Switch, whatever they might be coming out on, we will talk about them right here. This week we have Project Cars 3 and Madden NFL 21 coming out alongside other games like Wasteland 3 and Windbound. Lots of good games to dive into today, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Kicking things off, we have Project Cars 3 coming out on the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. Project Cars 3 is the third installment in the bestseller racing franchise that brings all of the intense thrills, emotions, and fun from the vibrant world of motor racing to vivid life as players undertake a whole new exciting career journey that sees the rise from weekend warrior to a racing legend. Also new to the franchise is a deeply engaging metagame that challenges players to race hard and earn in-game credits with which to buy and own hundreds of cars from the world's most elite brands and race them all on dynamic and spectacular circuits around the globe, featuring stunning all-weather, all-seasons conditions. Race 1 credits and XP will also entice players to buy authentic performance upgrades and customization options for their stable of exclusive cars, including wheels, tires, body kits, rims, as well as personalization options to create their own racing hero personas. With a completely redesigned and unrivaled controller experience, an even more accurate and fun handling model, adjustable skill settings for every level of driver, and every element of weather-affected races, Project Cars 3 is the biggest, most exciting, and authentic evolution to the definitive racing franchise. For those that haven't been keeping up, Project Cars has risen to be a true competitor to the likes of Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo. It looks fantastic and it plays very, very well. Project Cars 3 looks to be improving upon that algorithm. Obviously, the controls have been a bit revamped so that you do get a better experience on controller where most racing games should be played, but the main addition that I'm excited about is the in-game credit system. It's always good to be able to gamify a lot of what you do within the game. That is not to say insert microtransactions, but to be able to have in-game credits that you earn and do more with certainly seems to be a solid addition to the lineup. Next up, we have Madden NFL 21 coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and PC. It is worth noting this one is launching on Steam, marking the first time a Madden game is launching on Valve's storefront. Be the face of a new generation poised for glory and prove your skeptics wrong in the face of the franchise rise to fame. Launch an influential legacy, leave your mark, and shatter expectations as you rise in a way only you can. As you recount your Hall of Fame journey, the stakes have never been higher. For the first time ever, kick off your career as a high school quarterback and choose to pivot to a running back or wide receiver in college. The way you play determines the story you write, affecting your legacy as you rise up the draft ranks and go all out to establish your illustrious NFL career. Alongside this career mode and the return of Madden Ultimate Team and Superstar KO, play through a full NFL career and leave your legacy as a player, coach, or owner with single-player and multiplayer online connected leagues. Compete with up to 32 teams in your quest for a Super Bowl dynasty. Complete each season with a bid to the annual Pro Bowl and earn seasonal awards. And finally, The Yard, what is perhaps the biggest addition coming to Madden NFL 21. Go all out in the yard. A brand new backyard football-inspired mode in Madden NFL 21 where wild gameplay moments, house rules, and a fearless attitude are the name of the game. Right off the bat, I need to let you guys know it seems that development of Madden NFL 21 was heavily impacted by COVID-19 because there are a lot of issues with the game. You see a lot of misspellings, you see jerseys not matching up with the teams, and in general, a lot of the game is just simply lacking. That is not to say this is not going to be a good game at some point, because patches and additional work can certainly fix a lot of these issues, but from the get-go might not be the best Madden game you've ever played. The biggest element that Madden NFL 21 brings to the table is the yard, which is essentially backyard football, and that's something that really appeals to me as a player. But with that being said, Madden NFL 21 is probably not going to be the best game at launch, so I might wait for a few months if I do end up picking this one up. The way that I am perceiving this game, if you are looking forward to the next generation, I think the true version of Madden NFL 21 is going to be coming out on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. That's the way that I'm perceiving this. If you want to play on Steam, you can, and I'm sure it will be updated, but again, don't hold your breath on this one. However, if nothing I said really scares you and you're just in it for the NFL simulation experience, then Madden NFL 21 is launching this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Next up, we have Wasteland 3 coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. In Wasteland 3, you take command of a squad of desert rangers, lawmen and women in a post-nuclear world trying to rebuild society from the ashes. More than a century after the bombs fell, you are fighting a losing battle to keep your beloved Arizona alive. Then the self-proclaimed patriarch of Colorado radios, promising aid if you'll do a job he can only entrust to an outsider, rescue his land from the ambitions of his 3 bloodthirsty children. You are dispatched on a desperate quest from the scorching deserts to the snowy mountains to start from scratch. Building a new base, finding a snow-worthy vehicle, training new recruits, and fighting your way through hostile frozen wastes. All the while, you'll have to decide who to trust in this land torn apart by corruption, intrigue, warring factions, crazed cultists, cutthroat gangs, and bitter sibling rivalries. Build a reputation for yourself by making decisions that will profoundly impact Colorado, its inhabitants, and the story you experience. Will you be Colorado's savior or its worst nightmare? Wasteland 3 is a squad-based RPG from inXile Entertainment, featuring challenging tactical turn-based combat and a deep, reactive story full of twists, turns, and brutal ethical decisions that will keep you hooked whether you are a Wasteland veteran or new to the series. Create a squad of up to 6 rangers and customize them with perks and abilities geared to your playstyle. You even get to own your battle truck, which you can upgrade into a hardened warbeast bristling with weapons to help mow down your enemies. Wasteland 3 is shaping up very, very well. If you are a fan of turn-based RPGs, Wasteland is kind of the definitive version of that. It is just phenomenal in so many different ways. Now again, it is turn-based, so if you are looking for a third-person shooter or an action game set with this kind of vibe, probably not going to be the game for you. But when it comes to making choices, when it comes to really getting invested in this post-apocalyptic world, Wasteland 3 looks to get the job done in a very, very good way. So if you want to dive in, it is coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC, and it is worth noting it is included with Xbox Game Pass. Next up, we have Windbound, coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC. Shipwrecked alone on an uncharted island, explore, adapt, and navigate the land and perilous seas to stay alive. As Kara, you are a warrior, caught at sea in a fierce storm, adrift from your tribe. Thrown from your boat at the mercy of the turbulent waters, you are tossed onto the shores of the Forbidden Islands, a mysterious paradise. With no boat, no food or tools, just the will and skill to survive, uncover this beautiful island's rich resources. Craft tools and weapons to hunt and defend yourself against nature itself, with its wild and fantastical creatures. Whilst exploring further islands and the scattered ruins across their lands, secrets of the past and glimpses of the future are revealed. Unravel the mystery behind them all, and you may find more than just your way home. It's basically Wind Waker Breath of the Wild. That's what you're getting with Windbound, which that's not a bad thing. That sounds phenomenal. You are essentially exploring these islands and seeing ruins and just going on this grand adventure to try and get back to your tribe. This sounds like a fantastic game no matter where you play, but if you have played Breath of the Wild, it looks like this one is going to feel very, very similar. If you want to dive in, it's coming out this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, the Switch, and the PC, and this looks like one that I could highly recommend. And finally, to round out today's main releases, we have Tell Me Why coming out on the Xbox One and the PC.
Tell me why
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Tell Me Why is the latest narrative adventure game from DONTNOD Entertainment, the studio behind the beloved franchise Life is Strange. In this intimate mystery, twins Tyler and Allison Ronan use their supernatural bond to unravel the mysteries of their loving but troubled childhood in beautiful small-town Alaska. Now, as I said, this is going to be an episodic release, so I'll talk about this more whenever we get the final bundle that comes out whenever all the episodes have been released. But if you are a fan of Life is Strange or Life is Strange 2, this is obviously going to be one that caters specifically to you. Very emotional journey, very family-driven narrative. That's the kind of thing you can expect from the guys at DONTNOD, and of course, from Tell Me Why. So if you do want to check it out this week, it is launching on the Xbox One as a console exclusive, and it is going to be coming to PC as well. And this is bundled in with Game Pass. Before we go, we do have a couple of honorable mentions. First off, No Strayed Roads is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, which is basically an action combat game with rhythm elements included in it. Immortal Realms Vampire Wars is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, and Hypnospace Outlaw is coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, bringing you back to what is essentially a 1990s computer interface. It seems fun. I might dive in and give it a look. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and if you did, drop me a like down below and let me know what games caught your eye. Is there anything you are going to be diving into this week? I would love to hear your thoughts. But until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.